when they think that they aren't going to be looked down upon for it. Oh, there's already stuff in the chat. Oh my God.
Do I have to get on YouTube to
Oh,
see the chat?
no. If you click on the chat button,
Oh, public.
yeah, go to public.
Oh.
Communiserating. That's right. Bleary Line, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's nice to have a few people in already. In it, Bab, we got you. In it, Bab had his first appearance on Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out last week, live from the jolly old country of England. It was beautiful. And this Sunday, we're going to be doing a Sit Down the Hard Way. We're going to be live with ads from Australia. So we'll be deep. We'll be doing a Grand Slam Australia review. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. But yes, so Books, we've resolved the technical issues that were plaguing. Yes,
Story of my
but we're
life.
here now. We're here now. How's everybody doing in the chat? You guys hanging in there through the horrors, through the the lost. Some notable title changes this week. I hope everybody's hanging in there, doing good. I am doing good. We're gonna get started here in a few minutes. What up, Kaylee Metz? What up, Tino? Oh, hey, Tino, you had something to say to me? Oh.
That wasn't very nice.
It wouldn't be a very. I mean, you got to give me this. It wouldn't be a very good stream if I didn't say anything.
I mean, that's true. I'm just curious about
you thought about it. You had to think about that for a minute.
Don being detained by border control makes me so happy.
Did he get detained?
That's what I'm hearing in here.
Oh my God. Oh well, look at this. Fuck you, mama, 2 times. What's up, Blade? Most importantly, how are you doing, Books? You're the best follow on all platforms.
Thank you.
Most importantly,
I try. With my
importantly, my God, they're just coming with a hot fire.
I was joking yesterday with Bex that I don't know why people follow me because it's not like I have an award-winning personality.
You do. You watch the episodes that you're on end up winning podcast of the year somewhere. And
I don't believe that.
Well, keep the faith. Okay. That's what I got to say.
All I'm going to say is the amount of followers I've gained from calling people out the last 2 weeks is outrageous. So I'm just going to keep doing it.
What I've found is just saying fuck ice over and over and over again has gotten me a lot of new followers. I was at like almost 1,000 like a few days ago and just reposting and fucking shitting on ice. I mean, it's really been to my benefit, honestly. It's not just good for society, kids, is what we're saying. It's not just good for society to say fuck ice. It's good.
It's good for the algorithm.
It's good for the algorithm and for your engagement. I mean, come on. Oh, Tino, come on, man. Come on. I mean, I'm the one who wrote all the notes for the show. Like, I mean, if I don't say anything, I mean, I'm not saying it would be bad.
I did. I sent it to him. He's lying.
That's what? Books?
I'm kidding.
God.
Oh, stop.
My God.
Like timeless one. That made me very happy, but I might cry later.
My personality, I've been told, is kind of on the level of like flaccid penis. That I have the personality of a flaccid penis. Yep.
Well, you don't like onions. I do think it was Don behind my technical issues. I mean,
that's probably true. I mean,
amount of shit I talk about Don, I wouldn't be surprised if he.
I mean, it's endless. It's like an endless stream of hate and vitriol directed towards a man who's just working hard to grow his family, to be a father figure.
He betrayed his family.
I mean, he betrays some of them, but generally it's because of their weakness. And
Kenny almost died.
Uh-huh.
And came back better than ever.
Yeah, he lived. He came back better than ever. Don toughened him up. That's what I'm saying.
You know,
Uncle Don.
You have a little bit of split personality with Don there.
I do. And it's going to get actually more pronounced tonight because we got to talk about that Kenny Swerve business. Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh, my Lord. My lady was watching that with me and got very flustered. It's not fair. Is what I'm saying. It's not fair to the rest of the men of this world to have two people that gorgeous fighting. You know, even I was a little turned on, and I mean, that's really not my thing.
I did a little preview for Books and Becks this week. Last week we talked about wrestlers on romance covers. This week I talked about wrestlers as book boyfriends or girlfriends and their archetypes. And I went on about Kenny being morally gray for the way he said yield. So. Yeah.
No, I mean, there were a lot of people really on the yield thing. Yeah, no.
I'm still waiting for someone to send Kay and I the gift. Also of his black eye.
Yeah. Kenny is a guy I've seen with a black eye many different times.
I'm working on that, Joe. Kenny and I found out his new house, and
oh my God. Well, I mean, he kind of alluded to that in the promo, and we will talk about it, Larry Line, when the show starts. We're just gonna give people a few more minutes to pop in if they want to. Around 3:10, we will get this fucking shit going.
We were also joking that AEW and Kenny must be watching some of our stuff because when he was alluding to like a church, I was like, I'm embarrassed.
Oh, because you're talking about you're Omega sexual and talking about the Church of Kenny.
The Church of Kenny Omega. I'm like, oh God. Like, ever since that Speedball vlog where Willow and Hangman said, we see what you guys say.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've just given up on pretending that.
I mean, you notice I've cleaned up my language quite a bit about the talent and saying who's hot and all that stuff because, you know, like when Stat said sit down, shut up a couple weeks or like last week, I mean, I was like, is she going to say it? And
I thought she was.
For just a sec, I thought she might. But that would have been ridiculous to say on a TV show, like plug the podcast for no reason at all. So, Tino, it's actually 6:10 here in the real time zone.
It is 6:10 here, the real time.
I feel like we're getting started on the wrong foot. You know, like even if it's correct that the show would be better without me, I'm not leaving. That's all I'm saying. Like I'm staying.
No, you can't leave, unfortunately.
Yeah, because it would end the feed.
Yeah. And I will say, I'm still having nightmares about that Halloween Havoc and how awful it was. And that I may never watch WCW or WWF again from that time frame.
It's funny you bring that up because Professor Degree and I were just talking about how we should have you back.
Oh no.
And yeah, if you want to watch an old show that you haven't seen before, that's the key. You can't have seen it before.
I haven't seen any of them besides Halloween.
Right, I know. That's why you're a perfect guest. You'll do it, and you haven't seen any of this shit before. But if you want to be on the hard way with Professor Degree and myself, and the occasional appearance from Brett Michelle, as it stands right now, you can be on it and watch an old show. And we have changed our policy on a few things, though. We are not watching 3-hour shows as much anymore because it's hard to watch bad things for that long.
Yeah,
you know, it's hard to watch bad things for that long. So we're not doing that to ourselves anymore. This thing that we're reviewing this upcoming weekend, we're going to tape 2 episodes of The Hard Way. We're going to do one with ads, doing the Sit Down the Hard Way. And then we're taping next week's episode right after. And we are going to watch the Survivor Series Showdown 1991. So it's not the Survivor Series. It's the 1-hour preview show that was previewing Survivor Series 1991. And that's about as much as we could handle of that. So, yeah. Yes, that's true, Tino. The full shows did not age well. No. And as much as I'm inspired by terrible things, like objectively not good art, it's not inspiring in the right way. It inspires anger, vitriol, hatred, self-loathing. I mean, that's kind of me just normally, but all right. Anyway, okay. So everybody, thank you for joining us. We are about to, this is what we call crowd work is what we're doing here. And we're about to start the show. So Books, you know the drill. Also, I should say, if you want to see a measure of my schizophrenic personality, my boy, look, I don't have any problem with Kenny. Okay. It's just like, obviously he wasn't respectful enough to Dunn. That's it. People make mistakes. They learn. I have that same one. The red hair. I have the red hair one. I wanted to get that up. Look at that. You got a cool room going on back there. My fucking stupid setup is in my living room. So I'm like, all my wrestling shit's in a totally different place. I need to figure that out.
What you can't see is back there for Christmas, Mr. Books got me a vintage Lance Storm ECW figure and
for
t-shirt.
realsies?
Yes.
Wow. That is dope as fuck.
Wait, here's the t-shirt. And it's like brand new. Like this has never been worn. It's like 200. It was like,
oh my God.
And I've been too scared to post it because I don't want.
You haven't told Lance about this?
She is like crazy.
Things are getting a little parasocial.
Yes.
No, I think it's cool. You talk to Lance more than I do now. Like,
Lance and I are
like
buds.
We just talk about politics if we do talk. And we
were having a whole discussion about him going through immigration yesterday.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, not fun. Not fun. All right. Well, let's get this fucking show on the road, shall we? Hello, everybody. This is Blade Goddamn Daily, and you're listening to another episode of Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out, a pro wrestling podcast about pro wrestling. And once again, the most hosted host of this show, aside from Joshi G, Books and Body Slams is joining me. Books, how the hell are you doing?
I'm great.
Hello. I like those glasses.
Really good
those
today.
are nice.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been mid-migraine, so also don't mind my Pedialyte.
Hey, we're drinking Pedialyte. We're fucking doing the deal. We're
got my blue lens glasses on.
Yeah. I just have my glasses on, which are blue light protective, but I also need them to see. So
yeah, these are to see and to, which my headphones with the glasses are going to cause more of a migraine, but
I get it. I get it. Yeah, well, it's that's the things we do for the audience at home.
Yeah.
Those are the things that we put ourselves through. We're like fucking athletes if athletes just sat down and talked.
Sure.
Okay. Thanks, Books. I appreciate that. We got so much.
Was that not enthusiastic? Yes.
Yes. There we go.
Yes.
There we go. I like that. I'm going to cut the first one out in post.
Okay. Yeah. Go with the second one.
This is the thing. The people are with us because of the uniqueness of the live experience. Okay. So there's a whole bunch of shit that we say here that doesn't make it into the final edit because it's just visual gags and things nobody else would understand. So, and I cut most of the chat out of the, specifically Tino, I cut him out of the entire edit.
What's mean?
Just because of his harassment of me typically. But,
I think you should look inward.
I should look inward. What should I be looking for?
I mean, it could be because of your hate of onions, but I digress.
Tino, this isn't about onions, is it, bud? This isn't about onions. Come on, Books. Come on. Look, let's just, before we get started, let's just communally.
Nice. Okay.
Let's put our hands in.
I got my nice hat on.
We're going to, yeah, right. Well, let's put our hands in and let's give it up to Uncle Don. Thank you, Don Callis, for creating this wonderful moment for all of us to be here. Books, I felt like you could have joined in, maybe.
Why
right,
would
anyway.
why would I chant for Don Callis? I am his number one hater.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, underneath that hate, there's some kind of love, I think, right?
No.
Huh.
He knows exactly when I stopped loving him.
So it's not humorous then. It's not like a humorous hate. It's a legit hate.
It's like visceral hate.
You're like, Don Callis was detained going through the border yesterday, and I find that great.
Yes.
Wow. K
Team Kenny every single time.
You know what? In it, Bab, thank you. Praise be to Uncle Don. That's right. Because you know what? Joshi G
I run the Church of Kenny Omega. Like, what do you think I'm going to do?
But see, the polarization is the whole problem with society now. Like, if you love Kenny, you can't love Don, but you can. I do. I'm wearing a Kenny Omega shirt right now, and I love Don. It's possible, is what I'm saying. It's very possible. And what else is possible? Give it some thought. Would you try? Okay. Folks, before we dive into all the red hot homoerotic action that occurred this week, which, of course, it occurs every week, we got to talk about Brody King and the nature of wrestling news. It's very important to understand something about wrestling news. It's all conjecture for the most part. Okay. There are some good people out there doing some good work. Okay. But yesterday, it was reported by Dave Meltzer the night before on Wednesday night that Brody King was kept off of HBO Max. So that WBD wouldn't be punished by the Trump administration for people chanting "fuck guys." And Books, I gotta say, this one got me thinking. Like, it's kind of plausible only because we've seen all these corporations like bend the knee and open up wide, and come on, daddy. That's how they treat Trump, because they have mergers and acquisitions and all this shit. It seemed almost plausible, right? Like it could have happened. But as it turns out, as reported by Andrew Zarian, who I've always found to be very on it when it comes to HBO related stuff.
And quick question. Doesn't he also work with Dave Meltzer?
He does. Yeah. As last I checked,
I found that very funny.
He hosts a show on Sundays, as I recall. He does the Observer radio show on Sundays. Yes. So basically he corrected that. He does have contacts at WBD that I trust that he really does have. He lives in the epicenter of WBD, which is New York. He said that's not true. It was, it wasn't. And then Sean Ross Sapp followed shortly after and said it was adamantly, vehemently denied. And then WBD issues a statement that says it was like the most emphatic thing I've ever seen them say about anything relating to AEW is like, we absolutely did not do that. There was other plans already in place.
On Saturday.
Right. He had to travel. And it's just not true, as it turns out.
Yeah.
And you and I were talking.
I called it. And I got blocked from someone. Because, on Blue Sky, you can see when someone blocks you if you have the bot thing. And I was like, I want to know how you feel now about this.
Well, and you got to think, like, you guys are covering a simulated sport, okay? Literally, they can change anything that they want to whenever they want to. So whatever you're told could have been on the table, or it could be total bullshit, okay? A lot of these sources are probably second, third, or fourth hand, right?
And that was my guess at what happened. Someone heard something
Yeah.
made an assumption why Brody
Mhm.
wasn't on TV because
Right.
of what they heard and ran with it, as
Right.
opposed to Brody King was already at the airport.
Mm-hmm. Fuck you, mama, 2 times has a great point, and I agree. I will stop watching
Yeah,
AEW if they bend the knee for a
same,
fascist. Yes, that is absolutely true.
same.
Fuck that. So Tony Khan, hope you're listening. Um,
I'll
and
talk
then
to Daddy Khan. Don't worry.
yeah, exactly. You talk to Daddy Khan. You keep him in the good graces. Last I heard, Bleary Line 7 says, last I heard, Bugs Bunny was personally sent by WBD to lay traps for Brody King so that he wouldn't spout socialist words on TV.
That makes more sense.
It sounds true.
It does.
When I read it, it sounded like maybe that's bullshit, but now when I said it out loud, it seems true. So I think I saw a bunch of people reacting to this like it was fact immediately. And I got to be honest, and I have always treasured this man's work. Okay. Dave Meltzer has kind of been embarrassed on the breaking news front a bunch of times, or he should be the last couple of years, because he's gotten several things wrong. And this appears to be another one of those things. So I love Dave as like a historian, somebody who can offer some historical perspective. But I'm not sure the breaking news game is Dave's game anymore. Sorry, Books. Go ahead.
It's not, because he's not a journalist. Sean Ross is a legitimate journalist, right?
Mm-hmm.
He works to confirm sources. He works to get multiple confirmations before posting something. That is what a journalist does. Mm-hmm. Dave Meltzer is a wrestling personality.
Yeah. Well, and go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, and that's kind of just what he does. And I don't hate Meltzer, but I do take his news with a grain of salt. And then when Cultaholic is also pushing it off as fact, then I definitely take it with a grain of salt.
There are a lot of aggregators out there who just share whatever somebody said and try to get a bunch of clicks on their little fucking banner ads that litter their goddamn websites. A lot of the wrestling news industrial complex is bullshit. And it traffics in bullshit because it doesn't matter if it's true, because it's a simulated sport that the mainstream typically doesn't pay much attention to. However, with that said, Brody King is somebody that last week, almost half the show was about Brody King and the attention those fuck ice chants generated. But Brody is starting to generate like a main event level buzz that that feels palpable. We'll talk about it later, but Kenny Omega called out his name on Dynamite. Huge pop. The fans were already hungry for him to get something more. Mm-hmm. And now the fans are like chomping at the bit. And it's honestly like, if their plan was just to like insert some doubt into the outcome of Grand Slam Australia, job well done.
Yeah, job well done, because there's a slight part of me who thinks Brody King can win. But then I'm looking at the Will Ospreay stuff and going, MJF is realistically winning, because they're obviously going to set up MJF versus Ospreay for Wembley. But I'm like, oh, there is a slight chance he swerves quickly, puts it on Brody, and then has MJF beat him again.
I think that there is... So, like, when this match was originally made, I'm like, oh, Brody's totally losing, but he'll look great like Bandito did, in loss. Mm-hmm. And now that there is that doubt in my mind, like, of all of the matches, there's two, and we'll get into this at the end, but there's two matches where I feel like a title change is possible. And this is one of them. And that is the absolute opposite of what I would have said before. So yeah, who knows? Let's get in the chat for a minute. Tony Montoya. Oh my God, my cousin's here. God damn it. I'm not reading that. Bleary Line 7. The thing I will say, given the Trey Miguel situation, it's not like otherworldly to think that WBD would have prevented someone appearing, but it did not pass the sniff test one bit. it just seems like such a unproductive decision if they did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, here's my thing. When people bring up like Jay, Briscoe, and Trey, I'm like, they were kept off because they actually posted negative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, versus like Brody King is standing up against fascism.
Yes. It's just, I think, the other thing is the intense.
So it's this weird like thing, but like I kept saying there's something fishy about this. It was the timing of it.
Mm-hmm.
It was
yeah.
it was
I
just
think
the timing, it was everything. There was something fishy about it, and seeing all the negativity about another company made me 100% believe that there was something fishy about this, because they were definitely trying to hide WrestleMania tickets going on sale to like on discount today. I'm sorry, there's a holiday sale for WrestleMania tickets because
is there really?
Yes.
Wow.
The stadium posted it.
Wow.
It's 20% off for the holiday. So that's why I just there was something fishy about it the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's, I guess, the lesson here is like wrestling news is suspect at best.
Mm-hmm.
I think Fightful does a really good job of holding off until things are pretty well confirmed before they report most things. But I've seen them get a couple things wrong over the years, far less than most. And, some people don't even read wrestling news. They don't care, and that's totally understandable as well. But what I would say is before you give those instant reacts, like make sure these things can be confirmed by more than one person, maybe. Because
and don't
again,
block someone for just being like, can we wait and see what happens?
Right,
here?
right. Well, I mean, some people do, and then they're kind of dorks. I mean, I would have to say dorks. But yes, I think Brody is hot right now, and I think that there is some chance that he wins.
There's a very slim chance, and I'm worried because I think a lot of people have fantasy booked themselves into a frenzy.
Yes,
because he is so hot that if he 99% chance that Brody King is losing, right? Like,
yep.
People are going to get very angry and think that it has to do with Warner Brothers when
Maybe.
it was always bound to have
happened.
Yeah. If I was Tony, I'm swerving. I'm going to put it on Brody for a week or two. Keep getting those new eyes in by someone like Brody being men's world champion, and then having MJF beat him.
Or have Buddy Matthews return and turn on Brody and cost him the title,
which is
in his
honestly what I think might happen. Because
in his home country. Why else are they
there early? This is why I was like, they're there early so they could practice Buddy Matthews returning in ring and not breaking his ankle.
Could be. He's been out for an entire year now. That's insane.
A year.
So, as we said, not all wrestling news is bad. There are very few people I would consider journalists, but I do think that Dave Meltzer has his value, but I don't think that it's necessarily in breaking news these days. So the other thing,
except for women's matches, yes, he's great.
Yeah,
but
yes. For me, it's mostly about Dave's historical perspective that I find the most value in him, because he does make a lot of good points when it comes to that. Like for instance, when he talked about being number 2 in the wrestling business is like being number 30 somewhere else, is like number 1 is the only thing people like will feat, at the top. And WWE is so entrenched there that it's always, they're always going to be compared to WWE, whether it's fair or not. It's never been fair, but they've always been compared to them. And for Tony Khan, you don't want to tamp that down because it gets people talking about AEW and keeps people invested. Oh, maybe I'll check out this number 2 promotion, So, in it bad.
A lot of new eyes came on AEW this week. So
yeah, absolutely. I really hope to see Brody hold the AEW Men's World Championship for a bit, strike while the iron's hot, so to speak, even if it's just for a month. Hey, if he goes into Revolution as the AEW Men's World Champion, it's in his hometown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, wow, right? Okay, well, we gotta keep moving, but lots of good stuff going on with Brody King. I'm very happy for him, but we had 1 Dynamite, 2 title changes this week.
Crazy.
It was this particular episode of Dynamite I don't say it's a top 10 Dynamite anymore because I've lost track of how many Dynamites I would rate top 10. It's definitely more than 10. And this was
it's top 10 for the year so far.
Yeah. Yes. Hey, that's a good rating system. I like that. Top 10 for the year so far. Yeah, or top 12, is like maybe I have a different number that I use. But yes. So this week's episode was dense. It was loaded with character development, incredible wrestling, and 2 title changes, one of which absolutely blew my mind. And I'm really not sure if the title has changed hands twice ever on a show.
I don't think at least in a Dynamite.
Yeah.
Definitely like on a pay-per-view, but like within like a weekly show. Yeah. I don't think we rarely get title changes on like Dynamite or Collision. So this was shocking.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and especially because of the placement of everything, Fletcher and Tommaso Ciampa were in the first hour. It was kind of set up like, how could they do a title change then? Like, why would they do that? When the main event was announced as being Thekla and Stat, I had it like, that's interesting. That feels like something.
I had a feeling when it was the main event.
Yes. But let's talk about that match. And let's talk more importantly about the rise of Thekla. I just want to remind everybody, she has been in AEW since last summer. Okay. Like she showed up, I think in June or May.
Yeah.
It was right after Jamie Hayter faced Mercedes. And so Jamie was hurt. Thekla shows up, takes her out of action with a single punch for months, but whatever. And Thekla, since that time, has been running roughshod over AEW in a way that very few can claim. I don't think there's many people who've shown up who weren't given, it's not like she was held back by any means, but she wasn't given like the mega push right out the gate. I would say she was booked pretty strong. So, I remember on this podcast, Joshi G and I last year were talking all about how excited we were that Thekla was coming to AEW, that she could be, we thought she could be a big star. I did not think it would be this quick, though. I did not think it would be this quick. No.
I for sure thought there were other women in line first.
Yes.
So it was the best surprise because new blood is needed in the scene. So it made me very happy.
Yeah. And I first at least left the prospect that maybe something could happen when the announcers kept talking about the Babes of Wrath already being en route to Australia.
Yeah.
It's like, so you keep...
It kind of gave it away.
You're kind of talking about Stats alone, So that gave me some doubts. Stat announced it would be a strap match on Collision. And I thought that honestly, she would probably win this match. And then maybe Thekla would get one more match in a cage or something at Revolution. And I still think that match could happen because the Sisters of Sin interrupted the match and basically gave Thekla the title. But I do have a point to make about this. I think this is a great development for Thekla and for Chris Statlander. Stat had a very respectable reign. She was champion for nearly 5 months. She beat Toni Storm and Mercedes clean as a whistle. She beat Toni Storm twice. But the Cosmic Killer gimmick, as much as I like it, seemed to kind of be like a work in progress a little bit. And I think that's harder to do when you're the champion as well. You know what I mean? And she'll almost certainly be champion again. Your first title reign, Ric Flair's first title reign, he's, the guy who won the belt 16 times officially. His first title reign, nobody cared about that. Like it's nothing in the long scope of his career. So Stat's going to win the belt probably more than once. They might wrestle again at Revolution and Stat might win it back for all I know. But
I would love to see some, I joked the other day online. I was like, I want Tony to have quicker title reigns, switch titles quicker, and then I get mad when he does it. But I do think with the amount of talent AEW has right now, and the amount of over talent, he needs to start switching titles quickly. And there's nothing wrong with it going from Stat to Thekla, back to Stat, and then to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
It actually kind of like makes it a little bit more fun.
Yeah. Well, and we're going to talk about kind of the change in philosophy it seems like AEW's made with the titles, because there's a lot to say about that, actually.
Yeah.
And I think that we're going to see another example of it here in just a minute, but I think Tekla's earned this all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Her matches are super physical. She's got an infectious charisma that she just jumps through the screen at you, you know? And she instinctively holds herself like a star at all times. And I think, you know, I knew Tony Khan was high on her. I could tell. But I didn't think it was like world title right now.
Right away.
You know? Yeah. And you know, if you're a stat simp or you're a stat fan or whatever, and you were bummed, like I get it. I do. Because I'm a big Statlander fan as well. But she won like a heel. She's had tons of help winning her matches. And she has no problem doing that. She very rarely wins cleanly. Like, she sure as hell didn't win this match cleanly, you know? So
when was the last time we had it? Was it Mariah May was the last heel women's world champion?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, it's time for a little bit of
gotta mix it up.
Like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Shenanigans in the women's world title scene.
Mm-hmm.
So let's have some fun with it.
Yeah, and look, what do titles exist for? They exist to help people advance their characters and their story, right? So Stat losing now helps advance her story. Where does she go from here? Does she get an immediate rematch? If she does, cool, that's fine. If she doesn't, she can kind of go through the tumult of not being champion and doing what it takes to get back to the top of the mountain. You know, and then you've got a bunch of other viable contenders for it as well. There's somebody who's not on the show right now who I think when they come back is definitely going after the world title. I think that's almost a given. But maybe as a babyface, and that would be Mercedes Moné.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was like, who? Like, oh, Mercedes.
Yeah, Mercedes, yes.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see how this affects her relationship with Willow.
Mm-hmm. Or if it does.
Or if it does, because like obviously that's could be an interesting development. I really don't want to see that friendship. We just got them back. I don't want that to happen.
Right.
So
that's exactly how I feel. I don't think you can pivot to that so soon after they just kind of reunited, you know? So like the match itself was fantastic. It was, you know, it wouldn't even be a question of what the best match on this show was, except Tommaso Ciampa and Kyle Fletcher had a mini movie of a match. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. Both these women took insane bumps. I thought Thekla used the strap in innovative, interesting ways when she was on top of the stairs and Stat was like trying to pull her off the stairs and she jumped backwards off the stairs and yanked Statlander into him when Stat got busted open. Like, how would somebody who's so much smaller than you be effective in a strap match? And I thought Thekla really thought that through. Both women delivered massively. Stat does a huge blade job in this match. It's great.
I knew as soon as she was hiding behind the stairs, it's like, oh, she's coming up with blood. Especially after her comment earlier in the week. I was like, oh, she's gonna bleed.
Yes. And the Brawling Birds, Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor, made the save after the match, you know, because the Triangle of Madness, the Sisters of Sin, after helping Thekla win, which is funny. I always find it funny when people do stuff like this. It's a no DQ match, right? But they run out and distract the ref like they have to. They don't. They could just run right into the ring and
do whatever they want
if they wanted to, apparently. And instead, you know, Sky Blue's distracting Aubrey, and Julia Hart really just distracts Stat from doing anything to Thekla. And it's long enough for Thekla to get her bearings. She spears Stat. Then unfortunately, the camera got way too close on the fact that Stat's hands weren't really bound very well. And then she does that curb stomp on Stat, pins her. the Sisters of Sin and Thekla are beating Stat up after the match, and the Brawling Birds come down to make the save very late. Very late. But I mean, my first reaction was like, oh my God, this rules. And I was watching it with some people who had the exact opposite reaction to it because they're such huge Stat fans. And my words to all of them are like, hey, that's pro wrestling. That's good pro wrestling.
It's going
like you want your favorite to win, right?
Yeah, you do. Like, I still have like mixed emotions about Hangman losing, but like, while looking at the men's title scene now, I'm like, oh, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And you know, it'll be Stat's turn again. She's like I don't even think she's 30 yet.
No, she's young.
Like, girl has her time, and the birds were busy drinking.
Yes. Always never in the chat. Nice to have you with us. Stat has gone through quite a few different incarnations, and this loss will hopefully give her a bit of fire, a bit of renewal, maybe take a little bit of time off, maybe a month. Who knows? You know, I still think it's highly possible because neither Thekla or Stat is going to Australia that they're wrestling again at Revolution and Stat wins. I think that's entirely possible.
Yeah.
But
kind of make it like a best of three. They one keeps beating the other and have fun with it. But I do think Stat needs to, I like the Cosmic Killer. I think she needs to focus on like what she wants that gimmick to be. And in particular, having her gear drives me nuts because it gives different vibes. And I'm like,
well, and she's changing it all the time.
Yeah. Can we just focus on reining it in? Like, let's
pick your look, lady.
Pick your look, Stat.
Pick your look.
I liked the alien gimmick, so I would love to see her go back to that more kind of.
Okay, Larry Line 7. Can't believe you're still a Baniac after Stat shouted out the show in Bladed Daily. Very clever, but I will also say, okay, it's Bane-a-Maniac. Bane-a-Mania is running wild, brother. Okay, that's a totally different thing. But yes, and I do think Too Fat to Cook makes a great point that the Birds were busy drinking.
They were busy drinking.
And we're going to talk more about the Brawling Birds because I am loving what they're doing with the Brawling Birds.
I love this. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about the Brawling Birds. And then something about it, hear me out, it's giving Birds of Prey.
Yes.
Like vibes, especially when they came out with the hammer. And I would just love to see them go like full blown, like, I don't want to say morally gray, but kind of like not heels or not baby faces and are just like a little nuts.
This is what, see, Books, you can tell Books is a big reader because this is what we call foreshadowing. Because Books sees the notes and sees that we are going to talk all about the Brawling Birds later in this show. And so she's foreshadowing a little bit for you. She's foreshadowing. All right.
I'll save all my rest of my comments for that.
Nope. It's perfectly all right. So as we talk about the rise of Thekla, who I think, again, like fantastic wrestler, she can slot in wherever you need her. Super useful piece. She has been legitimized, with Tony and Mercedes and Chris as like on that level. It feels like the women's division almost kind of reset historically when Tony kind of became that like 2-year champion. It feels like the women's division almost like kind of it's not, like Nyla Rose still a valid champion, Rio, Hikaru Shida, all those people still great champions, but this division is so much stronger than it used to be. And I think Tony kind of reigning supreme, followed by, Stat, her giving the rub to Stat was a big fucking deal, big deal. And Stat gave the rub to Thekla in this match. And I think it was very unselfish and very cool. And it gave her outs too. So, all right. But from the rise of Thekla, we must talk about the fall of Tommaso Ciampa. 11 days, Books. 11 days.
Yeah. gonna go back to my earlier comment. I would love quicker title changes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
sometimes they're too quick. But unlike I see the overarching narrative of where this is going, so
Right.
I'm not gonna complain because I see where it's going.
The guy entered AEW and won the title in his first match, okay?
Yes.
And he's been
also as a babyface.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Is that Tommaso Ciampa?
No.
Is that Tommaso Ciampa? Sorry, that's actually the real pronunciation. Ciampa? Is that the guy that you know so well from 2018-ish NXT? No, it's not. His name's Psycho Killer. He's not supposed to be shaking people's fucking hands. So, you know, he was given this big...
You don't have someone named Psycho Killer as a babyface. I'm sorry.
Or at least
you have to do something to turn them into a Psycho Killer. Have them lose.
Yeah. Not for very long. You can't have him be just a, hey, I'm just so happy to be an AEW kind of guy. You know, you can't do that. But he really has been on fire in the ring since he came. You know, that first match where he took the belt off Briscoe, and then he had a great defense against Claudio and Roddy on Collision this last Saturday. When Kyle Fletcher called him out, though, and said this Wednesday, I was like, oh, shit. Like, they're about to go to Australia. Okay? Fletcher is Australian. He's getting a God push right now. Like, come on, you know? But even with all of that said, their match, like I said, it was a mini movie. It was absolutely incredible. It was like a one-match pay-per-view. Like, unbelievable. And I did see some people online say there were a few too many kickouts, and I can agree that sometimes AEW could probably do with a few less, but not in this match. Like, I thought this was stunning in its entirety. It was just incredible.
It was cinema.
And it was cinema. Don't tell Jey Uso we said that. Don't tell him. Like, because he has, you know, Yeet, which he stole from somebody else, and cinema are apparently trademarked by the Bloodline. But in the end, Kyle Fletcher wins clean with a brain buster. I think this is a classic Dynamite match. It could go down as one of the greatest Dynamite matches. It's that good.
At least of this year.
Good. Yeah. And yes, exactly. It's one of the classic Dynamite matches of this year. Yes. But, you know, in the end, Fletcher wins with the brainbuster, and great fucking match. Ciampa doesn't look weak by any means. He kicked out of the brainbuster once. No. And I love that they show that Ciampa is on the outside, just like beside himself.
Almost like he's going a little psycho.
Yeah, right. He looked very disappointed, did he not? And then he posted on social media afterwards, like, only 11 days. I was only champion for 11 days. He's like, I'm not going to make excuses. I'm going to get, you know, I'm going to come back and kick some ass, you know, basically. I think that's
it's almost like it's storytelling.
And I had never seen storytelling before because AEW doesn't do that. So
well, we don't know what storytelling is. So, I mean,
but this felt like it, whatever storytelling is. I mean, I watched
it looked like what I read in my books. So, like,
yeah,
it seemed like storytelling. I don't know.
You're trying to make me jealous because you know how to read. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. It's not going to work, Bucks. It's not going to work. I love your literacy. But yeah, so after that, Ciampa's on the outside looking distraught. Fletcher's in the middle of the ring looking very happy. Totally clean finish. Then
surprise for Don Callis family member.
Right. Don stayed out of it. Stayed all the way out of it. Because Don raised a good kid. You know what I mean? Like, look at him now. Anyway.
I'll give him credit for that. All right. Yeah, there's my one nice thing I said about Don. Okay?
All he had to do was stab Will Ospreay in the back of the head with a screwdriver. And look at him now. You know? I mean, Don showed everybody Kenny was how Don showed people the way. You know what I mean? Anyway, so Fletcher's in the middle of the ring, looking pretty happy. He's about to get interviewed for some reason. And then Fucking Mark Briscoe comes out. Now look, I love Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe's my guy. He's my boy. He doesn't even know me, and we're boys, okay? Like, I love Mark Briscoe. But I looked, and this will be their 7th match in 14 months.
That's, like, I love Best of 7, but it just feels like any chance they've gotten, they've done this.
I love Best of 7 too, if I know that's what it is.
Yeah, this was never advertised. Like,
not match by match.
It
where
ended
it's
up
just
became
like,
a Best of 7, and
them again. Okay, that's how it starts. You're like, oh, they're doing a rematch already. Okay, all right, cool. And then
meanwhile,
it's
we're
like,
still waiting on number 7 for another feud
rivalry.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Okada and Kenny.
Oh, yes, we are.
Because
I think it's going to happen.
6 right now.
I think it's going to happen.
No, I think that's going to be 8. Never mind. We're on Best of 8.
Yes. So
there's
there's going to be, there was definitely a diverse array of opinions. Kyle Fletcher did say this has to be the last match.
Yes. I absolutely agree.
And he did say that before, I think. But I think Kyle Fletcher's going to win. It's a ladder match. It's going to be fun. These two with a fucking ladder. Mark Briscoe's insane. Like, and he has no sense of self-preservation whatsoever. So that's always fun to watch. Guy's willing to kill himself for the entertainment. So thank you, Mark, for that. A couple comments here before we move on. Bleary Line, good point. I don't think that was storytelling. The promos weren't 30 minutes long, and no one said family 17 times.
I mean, fair.
That's a good point.
Fair. It's interesting. I had someone comment that like newer fans of AEW have been disappointed. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, because you don't have 30-minute promos to explain stories. You actually have to pay attention. What stories have you been disappointed at since you've started watching? Because I can't tell you the last time I was disappointed in an AEW story."
It's it's just an entirely different way of watching wrestling. And for me personally, I got kind of soft shoed into it because I was familiar with New Japan and Ring of Honor and all these other places. Tony's kind of like borrowed a little bit of this, a little bit of that from, extensive knowledge of ECW, all these things that I know Tony's very inspired by. So it made sense to me. But if all you've ever watched is WWE, AEW may not hit for you. And or you may need to give it a minute and just be patient with it, because when it hits like crack.
It hits, And don't watch New Japan then, because New Japan does not have barely any promos, I feel like.
Yes.
So
Too Fat to Cook, first time chatter, long time social media pal. Need Mick Foley to join after June and revamp Mark. Ooh, that would be.
Ooh, I originally had him with Darby, but now I'm like, no, Mark and Mick will make
that would
an insane kind of tag team.
We're actually waiting on match number 8. Fuck Your Mama 2 times makes because Okada and Kenny.
I forgot about the tie.
They're tied. So unbelievable. And I still want to see that match really bad. Well,
that's because we take time in between the matches.
Yes.
We don't get 7 matches in the span of a year and a half.
I also want to see totally healthy Kenny, like this Kenny that we have right now.
I'm just going to point out what I said on here the last times I was on was that Kenny was fooling us for an entire year.
He is a working son of a bitch. I will always back that up. He is. You just never know if this guy's being straight or not. Like, you just don't know. And Kenny, I've listened to Kenny work interviews with Dave Meltzer. I've listened to him work Sean Ross Sapp. I've listened to him do it all. The day that they went back to Chicago after the brawl out thing, Kenny was like, yeah, we just need to put this whole thing behind us and just move on. And then he's doing all of CM Punk's moves in his matches in Chicago, getting booed out the fucking building. It was so awesome.
Kenny is my favorite troll.
Yeah. No, Kenny is a troll. Yes.
It's why we're soulmates.
Yes. There you go.
We like to troll together.
Yes. But Tommaso Ciampa is going to be fine. This is a way just to simply establish who he actually is versus the kind of quiet, stoic guy that you've been seeing. This is the guy we're about to see who he really is.
And I will say it was
sports entertainer. All right.
Anyway, it was smart. You have him come in as like you knew he was going to get massively over, right?
Mm-hmm.
While coming in, like especially because it was like he left the other company and was in AEW like a day later. So I mean, he was just going to get massively over. Mm-hmm. What a great way to have him come in as a babyface and then quickly become his actual wrestling character.
That first entrance of his, iconic.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah. So good. Well, we had a great comment here. I'm going to put it back on the screen. The Mark and Mick connection has a ring to it. But please, Mick, do not do a flare and get back in the ring. Mick has said that he's been told he absolutely under no circumstances can wrestle again. He wanted to, and he had to pull out because he said that there's no way he can physically endure a match. Shocking, I know. But, Books, you were talking about this. Shorter title reigns, right? Yes. I've seen some people kind of freaking out. It seems particular to Blue Sky about AEW hot-shotting the belts around lately. And I just couldn't disagree with that more. After 6 years of AEW just striving to make everybody have like a really intense title reign, they got to mix it up.
You have to.
And yeah, one thing I wanted to remind people of is the NWA World Heavyweight title from like 1950 to like 1990 was probably the most prestigious world title in the business, right? And Tommy Rich won it from Harley Race for 1 week once, and it still felt prestigious because it was mostly on, great wrestlers who made the belt feel prestigious. But you got to move those titles around. We don't need every champion having a 6-month title reign because what it does, and we saw this last year, is it creates a log jam of other talent who just never hold belts. And by having those titles move around more, you make the show feel more unpredictable. Like anything could happen. And you make the longer title reigns feel really special. Like the next person who holds the men or women's world championship for almost a year, that's going to feel like a huge deal. Yep. You know what I mean? So you got to move them around.
Yeah. When you look at the men's title scene right now in general, especially the men's world title, you have Kenny Omega, Brody King, MJF, Swerve Strickland, Hangman Adam Page, and Will Ospreay coming back into the scene. You have 6 legitimate contenders who you are going to want to put the belt on. You're not going to take 6 years to put the belt on all these guys. You're going to cycle it through, and that's really like, okay, here's my booking. Ospreay wins it from MJF at Revolution. Swerve takes it from Will Ospreay. Hangman takes it from Swerve. Kenny takes it from Hangman. And you ended the story of Hangman and Kenny like that. With Brody King in there too. Because I'm still going to pretend my 1% of Brody King is going to win tomorrow.
Look, Brody is a legit main event guy if you just push a little bit on that. They've been letting him cut more promos, and they're believable. We're also seeing a lot of little clips of Will Ospreay talking about when he returns. I don't think they'd be running those if there was no chance of him coming back
tomorrow.
tomorrow in Australia. Wow.
Where else would you bring him? I think it's going to be too long of a tease to Revolution. Revolution is still over a month away.
Yep. They just let when I return. Like they repeated it a lot.
Yeah.
I think the best title stories AEW has actually told have my favorites have been Darby Allin with the TNT title and Orange Cassidy with the international title. And it was because they kind of were similar. Darby was never champion for very long, but he defended the belt constantly until his body just gave out. And they kind of did that same thing with Orange, where it was like he's an incredible wrestler, but he's getting more and more injured the more he defends the title. And he keeps winning for a while, but eventually you wear out. And I think, if anything, this thing with Ciampa is kind of like, it is hard to be a defending champion of any title in this company because anything can happen because you got to be at your absolute best. And Fletcher was just a little better in that match.
Yeah.
You know? So I wish this was, I wish that, champion eventually wearing down thing. You could do that with every champion, like it should be part of the way the announcers discuss, your viability. Kaylee Metz in the chat says Revolution is going to be incredible. I was there in LA when he was announced as All Elite so I would lose my ever loving mind if he came out at Revolution. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Kind of makes sense. Yes, it does. There were some people, Blurry Line 7, there were some people who left AEW or became dissatisfied in AEW because for a time they were kind of obsessed with every champion having a 6-month plus title reign and they missed out. And I think that's totally true. In the modern age, it's hard to consistently have a 6-month champion.
Yeah. And look at how many people were annoyed with Jon Moxley.
Yep. One, like I love Timeless Tony Storm to death, but it was long. There were at least a few times where I thought she could have lost that belt before she did. If I knew ahead of time she's going to lose it to Stat, I would have kept my mouth shut. But like, I wanted Athena to beat her. I wanted Mercedes to beat her. Like it wasn't because I don't like Tony. It's just like, hey, there's other people here. So that shorter title reigns, not the worst thing. Now, when we come back, this might be your main event, Books, because we're talking about Kenny Omega and Swerve Strickland fighting each other, touching each other, shirtless. All right. Well, Books.
Time
Dynamite
for my
kicked off.
novel.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Right. AEW literally gave us fanfic on Dynamite this week. Insane. I go on threads during this thing and it's just so many people like, oh my God, this is so hot. You're like, just, thirst emotes. Joshi, who's having a hard time even watching wrestling right now because she's literally raising a newborn, went and watched it the next day on YouTube and was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's so hot. The harem's still going strong.
We will never die.
Nope. But
Church of Kenny Omega for life.
Yes. We were promised Kenny in a Swerve face-off. Now, I have been so wrong, famously so wrong about kind of everything regarding AEW for a long time, about where things are going, right? And happily so most of the time, because it's nice to like kind of have the wool pulled out from under you or the rug pulled out from under you. And it makes sense still, like if you can swerve me and make it make sense, that'd be great. But one thing I noticed was that Swerve was giving Kenny the stank eye when it was Kenny, Hangman, and Swerve in the ring, right?
Yeah.
It was impossible to miss.
Kenny is Hangman's other boyfriend.
Right.
Like this is drama written all over it. Like,
Yep. This is heated rivalry is what this is.
Speaking of, I just bought that book. It's literally right there.
And so the week before, Swerve got beat by Andrade with a low blow, right? And Andrade was going to try to stab Kenny in the head with the screwdriver last week. And Swerve came out and took the screwdriver away, but it still distracted the ref. And Kenny still lost the exact same way Swerve did to Andrade. Andrade is wrestling Hangman. The winner of that match will be in the main event of Revolution. And Kenny and Swerve are left on the outside looking in, right? And they got into a bit of a pushing match after all that. And they are brought out. And Swerve comes out and Kenny comes out. And Swerve takes the mic first and basically immediately kind of talks about how Kenny was really great. But then he got hurt. And Swerve even kind of sounded like a heel during this to me. Did.
Swerve
where he said, in this. and what happens when I get to the top? You're not even, where are you? You know, it's like obviously he had diverticulitis. Like
he almost died, Swerve. He almost died.
Yeah. And then he goes, you're scared because us younger guys have already surpassed you, Kenny. We've lapped you. Lapped you. Kenny Omega. You were talking to Kenny Omega. Look, I love Swerve, but you were talking to Kenny Omega.
Disrespectful.
He was
like, I love Swerve, but in that moment, I think I hated Swerve more than I hated Don. And
Whoa.
It made me very angry that Swerve brought out that emotion in me.
Yes. No, I understand. And Swerve said, yeah, and this was the first time I've heard a crowd boo Swerve. There were some legit, like it wasn't the whole arena, but it was like enough people in the arena for it to be noticeable. And Swerve just goes even harder and says Kenny was basically an asshole for calling himself the god of pro wrestling. Swerve says it's great that he's feeling better, but he isn't stepping in front of Swerve, and accuses Kenny of using his EVP powers to do it. And then Swerve says he already had to deal with 2 jackass EVPs, and he's not going to stand for another one taking his spot, which, by the way, I believe that's called storytelling. I think that's what it is. Again, I don't know how to read.
I think it's, I read enough. I would say that's storytelling, but it wasn't a 30-minute promo. So
yeah,
it's hard to know for sure.
Fantastic storytelling here with Swerve having a realistic motivation. Like, oh, you're friends with the Bucks again. I just fucking had to, those guys tortured us last year. Where were you? Kind of thing, you know?
They sent him out in a stretcher, Swerve. Did you forget that? Because I haven't. I wrote a nicely worded letter to AEW.
A nicely worded letter.
It was not nice.
Blurry Line 7 says Swerve is an EVP. He won it. I don't think that's the rules they agreed to. Will literally said,
"No one knows what happened in that match. They changed it so many times."
Will just said, "You don't want me being an EVP. I'm too dumb for that." And Swerve was like, "He's right. You don't." But yeah, so that was great layered storytelling from Swerve there. I thought that was so awesome. You know, these two have been plotting this story for a while.
Oh yeah. Well, it's just like the simple eye and looks. That they were giving each other during the Hangman segments. I was like, this is going to be this is Tony Khan is booking for the book girlies right now. Yeah. And I'm not going to complain.
And then Kenny, showing why Don Callis stabbed him in the head, said he never called himself the god of pro wrestling. The fans did. Uncle Don did, Kenny. You were a heel when he called you that.
Come here.
Right? See, this is what I'm talking about. And I love Kenny. Okay? I love Kenny. But it wasn't the fans. We're idiots. Don called him the god of pro wrestling. Then we took it from him. Look at your baby. Oh.
Come. Come here.
Yeah. So Kenny's definitely playing the more like white meat veteran babyface guy here. And then he says Swerve calls himself the most dangerous man in AEW, but he disagrees. He said he thinks Brody King is the most dangerous man. Huge fucking pop.
Huge pop.
Kenny's like, I'm not looking for a match. I'm looking for a fight. And then Swerve gets back on the mic. He said, you want to fight? I'm going to put you back in the hospital, and this time you're not coming back. Kenny fucking slaps him. Swerve turns around and very slowly takes his like coat thing off. They get into a fucking brawl. This is what I want to see. Okay. I don't want Kenny and Swerve just like playing nice, doing technical wrestling shit. Okay. Yeah. See, that's right. You got to cool off a little bit.
They get into you forgot that Kenny said yield. It was either shut up and yield or yield. And
yeah. Yeah. And so they get into a brawl that goes all over the arena. They end up on the stage. Kenny V-triggers Swerve against the LED board. And then Kenny's like turning around, looking at the crowd like, oh, yeah, yeah. And when he turns around, Swerve spears his ass off the stage. They both go through a fucking table. Holy fucking shit. Holy fucking balls. What the fuck? Oh my God.
See, and now I'm going to be a hypocrite because if Tony Khan was going to give me 7 matches of them within 14 months, I won't complain.
No, because it's Kenny and Swerve. There's a difference.
This is going to be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, Blurry Line making a great point here. God of Pro Wrestling was absolutely a Don thing because only Don would be sleazy enough to think of that nickname. That's kind of made me feel like Kenny was slightly healing it up. Thought they both were.
Yeah.
Well, you notice if that's a sleazy thing to call Kenny, you notice he keeps calling himself, he lets the people call him that. He didn't renounce it, did he? Did he?
Yeah. No, he kind of shouted out the Church of Kenny Omega. So, I mean, we exist.
And then Uncle Don is always truthful. In it, Bab, thank you.
No, he's not.
Thank you. One love.
I think we're definitely going to see a cleaner version of Kenny, though, coming. I think they're both going to kind of be on the... Because that yield comment was and the slap was very heel behavior, but so was Swerve. Like... Listen.
The best babyface versus babyface stuff you can do is when both guys go into the gray with each other, and it's very personal.
Yeah,
that's
the
what best babyface stuff. Yes,
yeah.
And they showed you in this one segment. That's what you're going to get. This is how the show started, by the way. It's like what? Yeah. What's happening here?
Like I don't know how. It was hard for me to pay attention after that because all I was thinking about was like, I wonder if I could write some weird fantasy morally gray story about Swerve and Kenny and kind of have Hangman in there too, being like a jealous ex who's burning down people's houses.
Well, and you notice Kenny made reference to Hangman like he's my friend, right? Like he's got some experience burning houses down, burning your house down, So I think there's more to be
we
told.
all have to admit it was very nice to hear Kenny refer to Hangman as his friend. This has been a long journey.
It has. It has.
Hearing him say "my friend" just made my little BTE heart very happy. So,
yes. And so they announced later in the night that Kenny and Swerve are facing each other next week on Dynamite. I don't think that's going to have a conclusive finish, or somebody's
going to be a draw,
or somebody's going to do some shit to cheat or something. Like Swerve's going to go heel.
Very funny. So he brought up the Young Bucks, right? What if the Young Bucks come out and cost Swerve the match?
What if they do? Because I think there's a very realistic possibility of that happening. And I think that they're going to have some kind of crazy match at Revolution. All right.
Oh yeah. This is all to lead to Revolution.
How do you build to a
match?
I think it's going to be a Texas death match. Kenny
you think Kenny's
and
gonna
Swerve.
go Texas death already?
Yeah.
I mean, but then again, Kenny played us for a whole year that he was still on death's door. So, I mean.
Can you imagine Swerve stapling his gut? And I'm like, oh no, not the diverticulitis.
I think that might send me into a coma.
Yes. Nobody actually knows how diverticulitis works on the commentary team. Or Don Callis also does not know how diverticulitis. Your guts exploded. All right. Well, moving on. Let's talk about the AEW women's tag division.
Oh, yes.
And the Brawling Birds.
Yes.
So Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor are officially a team. The promos they've run for them have been absolutely outstanding.
Love them. And
this
so
is
different for women's tag teams. Like,
totally.
It felt so different. And I was like, yes.
Mm-hmm. This is how you build a new team as a full-time tag team. Okay. We know they're over the top, that they like to drink together. They're kind of rude. They love to they love to give each other shit, and they love to beat people up together. Like, there's a kind of a almost like Sheamus, Drew McIntyre quality to it that I could see. But cooler because it's Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor. In a lot of ways, I would say this is actually more than AEW's done to even build some of the men's tag teams.
Mm-hmm.
And so I hope they learn from this, because we don't just know who each one of these people are. We know how they interact together, and we know kind of what they're motivated by.
Mm-hmm.
And so the minute they start wrestling for the tag division, they're one of the top teams, and that's really cool. And I've seen some rumors that the Inspiration, formerly the Iconics, are coming to AEW just as they go to Australia, coincidentally.
Oh, are they?
There's a rumor that the Inspiration...
Well, I heard the rumor. I didn't know they were in Australia.
No, I don't know that they are. That they are. But I'm saying AEW is going to Australia.
Yeah.
They're both Australian.
Oh.
That wouldn't surprise me.
No, and Tony has kind of hinted that more women signings are coming.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dakota Kai dropped something too today.
Yeah, Charlie. Her new name is Charlie.
She'll always be Dakota Kai. So.
Ooh, my second one, and involving my man Kenny this time. Don't tease me, Daddy Blade. Well, I'll try not to. Yeah, so that makes for a perfect debut.
Oh yeah,
because if they showed up in Australia, that would be pretty incredible. And I think they have a lot of
a veteran tag team, and that new division would be so helpful for the long term of the women's tag. So
yes, because obviously the plan is not to keep Willow in the tag division forever. The Tony Storm is not going to stay in the tag division forever, and we got a little more to discuss about that. It may not be very long at all, in fact.
Yeah, one of my title changes is might involve tag teams.
Yeah, so there's a sense of the tag division is being kind of firmed up, which I really, really like. And the Brawling Birds are going to be an awesome part of it. I love Windsor and Hayter together. Mm-hmm. It seems like they're buddies in real life, and I think that's super, super cool. Kaylee with a great observation. Willow needs to give up one of those belts. I don't think they're going to hold the tag belts for very long.
I don't think they are either. And we'll get to that in predictions, because I have part of my prediction has to do with who I think was originally supposed to win the women's tag.
Yes. Inabab says, particularly enjoyed the Brawling Birds promo. The EastEnders reference popped me as a Brit. If you know, you know. I do not know, but I know you.
I'm going to trust you.
And that's good enough for me. I also hit my hand on my microphone and it kind of hurt. But let's see. It's okay. You'll
be okay?
I'll be all right. I'm very strong. I'll make it through. Okay. Speaking of tag teams, we knew the Bucks would be facing the Rascals in a triple threat tag. But the third team was just called a wild card. And there were some very misleading graphics showing somebody, a ghost who looked kind of like Zack Sabre Jr. We were all talking about in the Discord. One of the silhouettes looked a little like Zack. And we were positing that maybe it's Christian and Copeland, because ultimately they got to fight FTR, right?
Yeah. No. I mean, I think they're taking the titles off FTR, but
yeah,
I'm just
but not at Revolution, apparently, because it was Private Party, which really did blow my mind because I'm like, one, where the fuck did these guys go? Like, they've been gone for a year.
Yeah. So I guessed Private Party because
You did.
what was it, earlier Wednesday? Yeah, earlier Wednesday, that report came out where I think it was from Frightful that they were like, yeah, the Private Party is going to be seen in AEW before they ever go to WWE. And I was like, oh my God, it's Private Party.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's definitely Private Party. Like, there was
Yeah.
literally a report. Like, I'm like 99% sure that they reported something. And listen, if they did play and try to get a better like, good for them. Clearly, we learned the grass isn't always greener, so I
Well,
think they made the right choice.
I don't know. I mean, AEW released a new Private Party shirt this week. But I thought it was interesting because Quen.
Oh, I meant that like they've re-signed, but they were saying that they're going to be in AEW. Like there was whatever the report was that they're going to be in AEW, not WWE. I think I worded that funny.
Okay. Well, because I believe it was Blurryland. My friend Blurryland over here said it was kind of unclear what the ultimate outcome was going to be, but that they still wanted to make use of them while they were under contract. So I didn't know if they had re-signed or not, because they also did take the pin.
They re-signed. Tony Khan doesn't really put people.
They did put out a new private party shirt right after Dynamite.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think they're back happens there for good.
I think they're going to be an important part of the tag division if they are back, because I don't think Private Party is the kind of team that needs to win the tag titles. They've already won them once. They had a very nothing reign with them, which is too bad. But I think they're just a great team to add depth to the division, and that's kind of how I've always seen them. I see other teams as being somewhat similar to Private Party, but better at what they're doing. And Mark Quinn definitely put on some size. So that told me they are either
he looked so different.
Yeah, they are either eyeing a WWE contract or they were. And so we'll see. But it was good to see him back. And like I said, it deepens the roster. I think that's great. And and like I said, like they took the pin. So hard to know where they go from here, but it'll be very interesting. Any more thoughts on Private Party books?
Just a quick Google. It looks like they're still under contract. So
yes. Okay.
I'm going to assume that means that.
I mean, Tony fucking extended Ricky Starks and then didn't put him on TV for a year.
Well, that was because Ricky Starks kept denying creative.
Well, there was pettiness.
And I have that on good authority.
Yes. So just some quick hits real quick before we get into Grand Slam and some predictions. Clark Connors continues to appear on AEW TV with and without Gabe Kidd. So he was with the Death Riders, this week, which I thought was very interesting and probably a pretty big sign. I don't think he's going to be a dual contract guy if he's joining AEW. I think he's probably just joining AEW. Is that your read?
Honestly, so my read is that we're going to actually see more dual contracts because no one's going to want to be in the United States full time.
Well, certainly I don't think a lot of the Japanese talent are going to be like crazy to come to America right now. I mean, Jesus Christ.
And I'm honestly not. I think we're going to see less from CMLL as well, which
very
sucks,
possibly. Very possibly.
But I think we'll see more dual contracts because they don't want to be full time here.
Yeah. Yes.
And just a like random thought I had was like, I feel like dual contracts are great for talent, especially if they are with something like a CMLL or New Japan, because AEW will pay. Like we know they pay significantly more.
Yeah.
So what a great way to kind of.
Well, I mean,
get extra money.
The dual contracts make perfect sense because it keeps the companies that they're partners with in business, basically, and keeps WWE from rating their talent
Mhm.
and just showering money on a given talent, and AEW still can use that talent.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if the money's there, you know, them revealing that Hechicero and oh fuck, what's his Mascara Dorada
Dorada
and Persephone,
Persephone.
yeah, they're all under dual contract. I think that's
Mhm.
great.
Yeah.
I would have Persephone take the belt off Athena, is what I would do. That's just me, though.
Same.
Yep.
Or
Yep.
Willow.
She is the TBS champion currently. So let's not give her 3 belts, okay? Let's get 1 or 2 of those off her first.
Well,
Kaylee
I meant like
says,
push, like have her, you know.
yes. Dual contracts are what is going to push the industry forward. I totally agree. I totally agree. I think it's such a cool and innovative concept that, you know, Konosuke Takeshita was kind of the test for it, you know. And there's some interesting shit coming up with Konosuke Takeshita. Let me tell you, the guy who won the Most Outstanding Wrestler Award beat out my boy Bandito for the Most Outstanding Wrestler Award from the Wrestling Observer today. Tony Khan wins Booker of the Year. Dynamite wins Show of the Year for the 7th year in a row. So that's like, they're saying like, yeah, WWE is so hot right now, but Dynamite's still the best show, even when it was at its lowest a couple years ago, you know, so that's pretty funny. Okay. I did want to give a quick shout out to the awesome parking lot brawl on Collision between Eddie Ortiz and the Rascals had with Big Bill, Brian Keith, and the Grizzled Young Vets. Super fun match. Those guys just bumped like fucking maniacs. I'm loving the Rascals.
Yeah.
There are some people who really hate the stoner gimmick. I don't. I think it's funny. They literally did a spot in the match where they smoked out in a car and somebody got high. Brian Keith like got stuck in the car and got high. So
it's giving early Best Friends vibes.
Yeah, it's fun, but man, they can go. And boy, when they get thrown around, they bump. Like, holy shit.
I'm really excited to see the Rascals in Private Party because you have the Shot Crew and the Stoner Crew, and this is just, they can do some really funny storytelling here and like just go for it. Just go outrageous with it.
Yep. Yeah, and you know, it's not like AEW has a ton of that. So it's nice to have something that breaks it up a little bit, you know, which I really like. And I'm really enjoying the Rascals. I think they're great. I like this comment here from Bleary Line 7. By the way, I'm being corrected privately that it's called hotboxing, which yes, it is. Okay. I know what hotboxing is, but I haven't smoked weed for 12 years, so give me a break, all right? In a Bab, Brawling Birds pub-based chat, hit people with bottles and feature over-the-top London accents throughout. Book it, TK. Yes.
Yes.
Also
that could be fun for Revolution.
It could. Yeah. 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 And I saw that Kaylee suggested
not
that
Revolution,
Wembley. Oh, very fun. Yeah. Or like having Kaylee had suggested possibly a women's not
a stadium
Anarchy in the Arena. Yeah. That would be fun. That'd be a lot of fun.
We need more women's matches like that. So
yeah, absolutely. And yeah, but this match was so fucking cool. It was so much fun. Eddie, just so entertaining. I'm loving him with Ortiz. I love seeing Ortiz back on TV. That dude is in such great shape. Holy shit. Like that dude turned his entire fitness around. The person privately messaging me about hotboxing just called me grandpa. So thank you. Thank you. Yes, I'm old. They still had hotboxing back in my day. Okay. All right. So if y'all had known me a lot younger, I was a pretty heavy stoner and drinker. So that's why I'm not now. In other news, Roderick Strong finally did something. Thank God He
Thank
turned on
God.
Orange Cassidy in the middle of their tag match, which Orange still managed to win. But Roderick is very, very much not part of the conglomeration. And he's made that clear now by abandoning Orange Cassidy in the middle of a match. Roddy needs something.
I have a secret hope. And that's that it means that a certain nerd who plays video games named Chugs is secretly a wheeled. It might be returning.
Yeah, we can hope. I mean, we can certainly hope. Hope in one hand, and you know the rest.
Let me live in my delusional world, okay? Like, just let me have it.
Finally, last bit of news. Mina Shirakawa got an unexpected haircut. And Wheeler Yuta basically has to get his head shaved, right? Like
it's there's no other choice. Like them cutting Mina's kind of sometimes wrestling is too obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of those times where we know who's going to win. I feel like we know who's going to win. This is a perfect and funny way to get rid of the mop that is Yuta.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I'm getting cooked in the fucking chat. This is insane. This is insane. Blurry Line says Blade was a stoner when Reefer Madness was a thing. It had been out for like 2 years by that point. It was made in the 30s. But does have a good point. To be fair, Roddy was conglomerated against his will for like 7 months. Like he literally never agreed to any of it. And then Blurry Line says Buzzcut Marina is going to be an absolute killer. Now, here's the thing. They have they made that clear? Is it just the person who takes the pin? Or is it both people on the team?
Takes the pin.
Yeah. So the segment is Tony Storm comes out after the Death Riders match, or I don't remember when exactly it was on the show, but Tony comes out. Yeah, it's Orange Cassidy's in the ring after he manages to pin Daniel Garcia. And basically says, Wheeler Yuta, you're an annoying little shit. And then says, essentially like, we're going to kick your ass or I'm going to look fucking beautiful bald. Like, fuck you either way. And then Yuta comes out with Marina and then they like have company and they're like, bring her out. And they bring out Mina Shirakawa. They grab a big, big clump of hair and they just cut it right off. And then Mina later on social media, on Instagram, says this is fucking bullshit. Now, a lot of things could happen here. Mm-hmm. We already know that Mina is a little apprehensive about Orange Cassidy and Tony, right?
Yeah.
She was calling Tony her husband. Yeah.
I mean, with all due respect, like, I get it. Like, Tony's all of a sudden making this twosome into a threesome. Makes sense.
Thruple. Yeah. And Tony is a bit flighty. I mean, she was all about Mina, and then all of a sudden, like,
Orange came around. Well, she was all about Mariah, and then Mina came in.
Are we going to start turning this around on Tony? Because
it would be a very funny. I mean, given the Hollywood Scarlet thing she's going for, it could be very funny.
Yes. And then, so I'm like, are they going to break up the Timeless Love Bombs already? Because I love the Timeless Love Bombs.
I do too, but a little like, because I think Tony Khan needs to get better at booking non-women's title matches.
Yeah.
A Mina and Tony feud.
Yeah.
With no titles would be perfect to get more TV time because they're both so beloved.
That's true.
So.
And I have seen Mina do some psycho shit before, and she's legit scary when she wants to be. So.
I mean, her best friend was Mariah May. Like, we know what Mariah May was capable of. So.
Yeah.
Like.
was capable of. I'm not sure what she's capable of anymore.
Poor girl retired so early in her career.
Yeah. She might as well have. I honestly, that would have been better than what she's actually doing, which is anyway.
Well, she did fade away to mediocrity, so.
Yes. Yeah, I know that's her like CM Punk, the John Moxley Punk promo.
Yeah.
Tony basically cut one on Mariah, and I don't even think it was intended to be like mean spirited in real life, but it's gonna follow her forever. All right. So when we come back, we are going to do a quick preview of Grand Slam, make some bold predictions, and yeah. Woo! Fun show. Let's see. Blurry line. With the exception of OC, the other three could all get plenty of mileage out of being shaved.
I also go with Toni Storm being bald and having to wear wigs would be absolutely hysterical.
Yes. Well, and then they on social media, they had a video of them trying on wigs for what they could look like if they had to shave their heads. Like, what I like about Tony and Orange is like, they're like, we could lose. Like, they're not like super confident. Like, they're like very open about the idea that they could lose. Also, what the fuck is going on?
I'm still not okay with Juice Robinson coming back with no hair. Like, I'm not ready for that to deal with Toni Storm also doing that. So like,
no, Tony's hair is such a huge part of her character.
Yeah.
And honestly, so is Orange Cassidy's hair.
Yeah. Yuta is the only one who needs to be shaved for the overall well-being of AEW.
See, now we've got Blurry Line and Inabab in the chat suggesting that Tony, Marina, and Yuta all get shaved and Orange Cassidy doesn't. That's not, I think that's the least likely outcome, fellas. Just FYI.
Though, if Marina does have to get shaved, that could be a good storyline of putting Roddy completely over the edge with Orange.
That's my wife.
And like him joining the Death Riders to attack Orange.
Yeah.
Because they've already kind of hinted that they're married, right? They've definitely hinted. So it could be.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, they have. And this is going to be interesting. It's going to be a fun match. That's going to be a really good one. All right, everybody, we're back and we're talking AEW Grand Slam Australia. Now, I do want to let the listeners know that aren't on the stream that Professor Degree, myself, and our first-time guest, Dads, a.k.a. Ads, a.k.a. Big Ads, a.k.a. Guy from Australia, is going to be joining us live from Australia to talk about AEW Grand Slam Australia. Sicko, definitely. And then we are going to be taping another episode of The Hard Way immediately after, where we review the Survivor Series Showdown card from 1991. So tune in on Monday to hear our Grand Slam Australia Sit Down The Hard Way review of that. But Books, let's get into it.
Yes.
This is a fucking pay-per-view of a card.
It is.
Like,
for free.
This is way bigger than the card they had last year. Like, like Tony and Mariah was huge, but like other than that, it was like fine. Yeah. But we start with that mixed tornado tag match. Loser gets their head shaved. I thought it was the person who takes the pin. I'm not sure if it's both or if it's just one. But yeah, Marina could definitely shave her head and be totally fine.
Yeah.
And I mean that in all the ways you can mean that. Wheeler Yuta definitely has to get his head shaved.
So I was joking that because of his beard and his hair, we could make an exception. Yeah. And that if he shaves both, Marina doesn't have to have her head shaved. Can you tell I want the hair gone from
Wheeler?
Yuta.
I mean, kind of everybody wants the hair gone from Yuta. I mean, he looks like a schmuck. I mean, he just does. And I like long hair.
It's gone way past emo into...
Yes. Homeless.
Like...
Yeah. Houseless.
It's just not a good look.
Yes.
It's
houseless.
Not a good look.
Who you got taking this one? I got Tony and Orange.
Yeah, I have Tony and Orange. I think this is all a play to... I think this is a fun... I think Yuta wants a haircut, and this was a fun way to do it.
Yes. Yes. He was growing the hair for heat, brother.
And with the Death Riders kind of going babyface, it just makes sense to...
Well, and that's the other thing. So, like, what the fuck is going on with the Death Riders? Because Mox is acting like a babyface. No one else is, but Mox is. And so, yeah, they've got to find some way to bring the rest of them back to the babyface side or not. I don't know.
Shave
Or
Yuta's
they're
head, and that would at least make Yuta more likable.
yeah, or like give him some character development. The winner challenges for the men's world championship at Revolution. We're gonna get Andrade El Idolo versus Hangman Adam Page. I'm excited for the match. I think it's gonna be great. Both these guys are amazing. I think the winner of this match will tell you who's winning the main event, probably.
Yes.
If somehow Andrade wins this match, I think there's a much better chance Brody beats MJF.
Yes.
But if Hangman wins, I don't think he's fighting Brody. I just don't see
I don't think he's fighting Brody. They're not going to do the two most outspoken members and put them up against each other and make the crowd absolutely angry.
Totally.
But
totally.
I mean, I can also just see Andrade winning it no matter what.
But Andrade versus MJF in the main event of Revolution? I don't know.
Listen, I'm having a very hard time with my newfound love for Andrade.
Uh-huh.
But I can see it.
Look, the women's viewership is way up right now. And it's up on all the episodes Andrade's on. So I
think what we need to come together and have a talk, because Andrade is not a good person outside of like in his marriages. And here we all are like, oh, Andrade.
Yes, I know. But Don said it. Don said it really well. Is like, he looks like he should be on the cover of a romance novel. I mean, he really does.
He started a whole new gimmick for me.
Yeah. Oh boy. The Continental Championship is on the line. Let me ask you this, Books. We've talked about it before, but how are you feeling about the Continental Championship?
I think the whole idea. I think the unified title was completely fucking useless, but I think this was a way to get the title off of Okada without rushing into Okada versus Takeshita. I think Takeshita is going to beat Jon Moxley.
This is the match where I feel a title change is probably most likely.
And because I think it's going to lead to Okada versus Takeshita for the unified.
Yep. They're going to reunify.
I still haven't given up the fact that Kenny Omega is going to have the unified. He's on the fucking belt.
I'm liking
so I'm not going to give up on this. Like,
no,
I also think
nor should you.
They're treating a unified like a men's world, and until they're ready to put the men's world on Kenny, have Takeshita beat Okada. Takeshita becomes unified. And then you have Kenny versus Takeshita, or you do it the other way around, and Okada becomes second time unified. Then, because they're already teasing round 8, so then you have Kenny versus Okada for the unified.
I think Takesha's going to take it from Mox, and my whole thing with Okada's title reigns, all of them, as the unified champion, as a continental champion, and even as the international champion, the dude barely ever defends those belts.
Ever. It's time to get it off of him.
And it's not his fault. Like, he wrestles a lot, but he doesn't defend the belts. And it's like, why is that? Like, why?
That's because there was all these weird stipulations with the unified, which made no sense.
Yeah.
But
Tony got too cute by half, where it's like, well, since the Continental Champion won, it's going to inherit the rules of the Continental Championship, so no interference and blah, 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 blah. If you're trying to make a pure championship for AEW, like, let the unified title be that, But, that's fine. But, I think Takeshita takes it and he has to actually fight Okada at Revolution.
Either way, it's leading to Okada versus Takeshita.
Yeah.
And they've been teasing this for way too long, and it's time. I also think Okada losing would be a great way to get Okada off TV for a little bit and let him.
Well, I
And he
think,
hasn't been back since his match with Tanahashi, so I don't think,
yeah,
right? Have we seen him?
he's just appeared on the show to talk to Fletcher. That's it.
Yeah.
But I think with him, the story is there. They need more story with him and Takeshita. They need some actual things to happen now because this feud has been literally teased for
I feel like a
since
year.
all out. Like they fought each other and Mascara Dorada in that triple threat match, and that was in September. So it's going to be
It's
March.
time.
So it's time. So yeah, I think Takeshita versus Okada for the unified is at Revolution is a real possibility. And maybe does Kyle Fletcher make a big decision in that match and chooses
I think Fletcher and
Okada
Takeshita
or
are leaving the
Takeshita?
family. I think they're leaving the family. They don't
That
need
would
the
devastate the family though.
Yeah, but the family has enough other talent now that I also think at the end of the day, Takeshita and Fletcher don't need, like, outside of kayfabe, kayfabe, whatever the hell it is. They don't need Don Callis anymore, right? They don't need that manager.
Mhm.
They're stars by themselves.
Yeah.
So
I think it's
this is a great way to have them leave the family. And
the thing though is like I feel like they've been teasing a Fletcher face turn a little bit because he's going to turn on Takeshita and fuck everything up. Like he is
yeah,
going to become a
it'll be great.
monster heel. And I hope that's what happens. I want Fletcher to stay with Dawn and
Oh
go
yeah,
mega
I think
heel.
Takeshita's leaving, but
Yeah, Takeshita's definitely leaving. But it's going to be interesting. So I think I agree with you though. I think Takesha's going to beat Mox. We got a TNT title match in a ladder match. Mark Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher. I think it's an easy Kyle Fletcher win.
yeah,
On this,
they're not
they're
having
in
him leave
Australia.
our hometown. Yeah,
He's going to be a big baby face. They're going to cheer like crazy for him. You know, the women's tag title match, Megabad versus Babes of Wrath. I could go either way on this one, to be honest with you, because I love Megabad. Like I wanted them to be the first tag team champions, and then Penelope got hurt.
yeah.
But Babes of Wrath haven't been champs for a super long time, but they could lose them now, and it wouldn't be that big a deal either. So I could go either way. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Babes of Wrath are going to retain in this one for some reason.
I'm going to go opposite.
Okay.
I 100% believe Megan and Penelope were supposed to be the first tag team champions.
I think you're probably right.
It was very obvious when they were gearing up for it because their gear has been matching from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a subtle thing, but when they started hinting at the tag teams, I was like, it's going to be them because they've been the only ones matching.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think now that Penelope is better and able to wrestle, I think it's a good time to switch. I don't love dual champions.
I don't either.
And Willow then can only wrestle either tag or TBS, and it annoys me because now we already have such limited women on TV with AEW. Let's separate those titles now.
I think that I think any tag division needs 5 or 6 teams to be really successful, right? Where it's like, that are getting consistent exposure.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, the men's tag team division hasn't even had that at times where it's been very, very, the show has kind of become more trios and singles driven than it used to be when you had the Lucha Bros and, you didn't just have FTR and the Bucks, you had the Lucha Bros. And like the last few years, it's felt like the FTR and the Bucks are kind of the standard bearers and everybody else is kind of whatever after them. And
because there's they haven't really pushed tag teams, or tag teams have been injured. Like AEW has had like such major, like just like I will never complain about FTR and the Young Bucks in a ring together because I think that they are magic together, and I think you have heel FTR with 2019 Young Bucks. It's going to be a very different match than we've seen the last couple of years, but yeah.
Fletcher offering Mark a title shot was definitely more babyface than he had previously been from Blurry Line. Agreed. Yes. I still wonder though. I mean, because one, he's going to be a hero in his hometown, so why not do it? For the Aussies, right? But then the other thing is like it has the feel of this thing Vince McMahon used to do, where he almost would convince you somebody was about to turn babyface, and then they'd turn harder heel. And I think in this case, that makes perfect sense for Kyle Fletcher, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Like, you guys, come on. We want to see Fletcher and Takeshita feud. Like, yes. That'd be amazing.
I want to see Takeshita feud with everyone. I want to see Fletcher feud with everyone.
I do too. I did get word as we were taping that Bandito had to pull out of an appearance. He's apparently injured for the foreseeable future. So, fuck.
Well, that's depressing. Yeah, like it's like they've had such a string of bad luck with their tag teams. I mean, we all know this is gearing up to put you're not going to have the likes of Christian Cage and Adam Copeland on AEW without ever putting the tag team belts on them.
No.
Like, we all know where this is leading.
You want their names in that lineage, Yeah. I mean, that's why you bring people like that in is, Cope, his name is in the TNT title lineage. So is Christian, they will win the tag titles from FTR. I think that's almost a guarantee.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think so. Okay. So Takeshita and Moxley, we got Takeshita both. Babes of Wrath for me, Mega Bad for you. And then that leads us to the main event. Brody King versus MJF for the men's world title. I think we probably both agree that the most plausible thing is like Buddy returns and costs Brody and gets like mega heat, like just insane levels. I mean, it would be huge for Buddy, but my whole thing is like, is Buddy going to stay healthy? Because why give him this much heat if he's going to get hurt again? Like,
well, he kind of got hurt on
it was a fluke.
It was a fluke. Like,
yeah,
he landed badly.
Yeah. Everybody thought he was joking when he said he destroyed his ankle, like that. He was like playing up the small ring thing when that was like a whole thing.
Yeah, but no, he like actually destroyed his ankle.
He must have destroyed his ankle because he's been out for a year. So
yeah,
well,
he's been teasing that he's been like ready. So it's even if he's not fully ready to be in the ring, that would set up a very great feud between Buddy and Brody. And because you have Buddy who's going to be like, you moved on without me. You joined a tag team. You did all this stuff without me.
Yeah.
That's great storytelling right there. So if he's healthy,
it is.
And it won't make Brody look bad. And I think people will accept Brody's loss a lot more if it's because Buddy does it.
Yeah. Whoever causes the loss is going to get mega heat. So, and Brody's going to be super over.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this feud has already done its job. I mean, if it were to end right now without this match, it's already gotten Brody over to a whole new level. So, you got a future main eventer there in Brody King. He's main eventing this show with MJF. So in Australia. So
yeah,
you've already got that. I think there is the slimmest of chances Tony pivots and goes with Brody. I think it's a very slight chance. Very slight chance.
I just had a brilliant thought.
Oh.
We all know the national championship is supposed to be defended at
all the different promotions, right?
What a great person to put the belt on as the person who speaks up and is liked by all of the promotions.
Yeah. Brody. Give him a national title run.
And that way he can go to New Japan and CMLL and Rev Pro and all the other promotions.
one thing is for sure, Tony Khan has, they have said so many times that Tony Khan they can't make stars, blah 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 blah. It's such bullshit.
He has, yeah.
Look at Brody King. Look at Darby Allin. Look at MJF. Yeah, exactly. Look at Kenny Omega in America. Like Kenny is not New Japan Kenny. He is AEW Kenny. Mm-hmm. And of course, this is all due to the performers as well. Mm-hmm. But like at the beginning of AEW, the known commodities were basically Pac, Jon Moxley, and Jericho. Mm-hmm. Thank God for those guys, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because they brought legitimacy with them. But a lot of people had no idea who the Bucks were. A lot of people had no idea who Kenny was, or they had heard his name but never seen him wrestle. And so AEW's created so many stars, and they are just backloading for the future. It's insane. Mm-hmm. I said this, I don't know if it was last episode or maybe the episode before, but Tony Khan runs AEW like a sports team. He's always scouting. He's always got his ear to the ground, trying to figure out who the hot new young prospects are. He's got Billy Starks.'s got Nick Wayne, Mm-hmm. Nick Wayne's like 22. Billy Starks is like 22, like insane.
Yep. Well, he's done a really good job. I mean, even when you look at someone like Toni Storm, who's not 30 yet. Right.
She just turned 30, I think.
Okay, yeah. She just turned 30. Like, and look at what she's accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is still the future of your women's division.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then, you've got so many other people like Tony, nobody ran with Toni Storm. And certainly nobody placed her in a position where she could pull off what she's pulled off. Mm-hmm. Nobody else saw that in her, no. So between RJ City and her and Tony Khan, unbelievable shit. Unfucking believable stuff. Orange Cassidy is a star and a mainstream mm-hmm. wrestler, a guy who would be a meme wrestler anywhere else. He's like the meme wrestler who actually was a great wrestler, So anyway, Books, where should the people go if they want to find you?
I am everywhere except for TikTok because F that app right now.
Mm-hmm.
At BooksandBodySlams.
Nice. Yeah. So no, TikTok is definitely on the shit list. And it's probably not safe for Americans to use right now. But also, find Books on her podcast that you have with
there's
our
the
friend
Books and Beck Show.
Yes, the Books and Beck Show.
Don't Call Me Diva.
At Don't Call Me Diva. And find her online. She's a great follow on socials. That's how we met. Quite a long time ago now.
Like seeing people get called. It's been forever, I feel like.
I know. It's been a year and a half, but yeah.
I feel like it's been longer.
I know.
It's definitely been almost 2, which is crazy. But yeah, especially if you like to see people get called out and get called trash, come follow me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh no, Inabab. Oh no.
Oh, I'm gonna keep my opinions to myself because I have a new opinion on why Jericho should stay. But
I think he might. I think he might be, or at least he's not signed with WWE yet. So maybe he'll make a WrestleMania return. I don't know. I don't know. I did not. I
think for AEW backstage we know I don't like Chris Jericho as a human, but Chris Jericho's knowledge in the long term would be very helpful.
To have him work it backstage, if he was willing to do that,
mm-hmm.
If he was willing to work backstage, be a coach, be a, front office guy, like, mm-hmm. yeah, he could be very valuable. So,
and work with talent on how to reinvent themselves.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There you go. Well, Books, it's been an absolute pleasure having you, as it always is.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I'll have to come on to the hard way and be utterly traumatized again.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have you watch some like Georgia Championship Wrestling from the 80s or some shit. We did it. We could barely get through it. I mean, it was not great.
I have a hard time with WCW and WWF. Oh, God.
Until next time, I'm Blade Daly.
And I'm Books and Body Slams.
pro wrestling forever. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Blade loves Jericho. I did love Jericho as the wrestler guy. I loved him. He was my favorite wrestler for a long time. So Blurry Line saying I'm just huffing copium because I bought 8 cases of a little bit of the bubbly, think they would appreciate it in value. That would have been a poor investment. I agree.
We went to our secondhand shop the other day, and they had it, and I almost bought it, and I was like, "Do I need this?"
I bought the little bit of the bubbly Chris Jericho action figure set. I did buy that. So.
Oh no, they had the champagne bottle, and
the actual champagne, yeah.
And I was like, I was like, I don't need this. Like.
That video clip was so wildly viral. It was insane. A little bit of the bubbly. Like, it was just crazy.
I don't think I bought any wrestling stuff when I almost bought a Razor Ramon action figure, and I was like, I need to stop. I need to stop.
Thanks, Blurry Line. Last chat of the session. Cheers for books. Blade, you did okay too, but hey, thank you.
He did do okay, huh?
That's maybe the nicest thing anybody's said to me in this entire it tastes like sweat and regret. That's
it probably
almost certainly true. A little bit of the bubbly, yeah.
Now I wish I bought it so I could taste test it.
Yes. Well, Books, you stay on. I'm going to kill the feed for everybody else. Thank you all so much. You're the best. And we will
giant dog
talk to
says
you.
Goodbye.
Yes. Your giant dog says goodbye. We will talk to you all later. Bye now.